everybody. This is Adriana with LuLaRoe, Adriana Brinker. I'm coming to you from my second week in the queue. It is officially exactly 2 weeks since I signed my paperwork, and I have some updates and some information, and I wanted to kind of share with you what I've been doing in the last week and a half. Last week I did my video on Tuesday, and the reason for that was that Tuesdays and Thursdays my daughter has gymnastics, and so my husband he has different days off during the week, and so we switch who takes them on what days. So last week was Tuesday, and this week is Thursday, so that's why a little bit difference in the time. So I just kind of wanted to give you an update on what happened this last week. We had some rough days, and we're back on track, so I kind of wanted to tell you what happened. So the plan to sell LuLaRoe was to use our income taxes to pay for the initial investment. Now, those of you that aren't familiar with LuLaRoe, I can tell you that the initial investment is just around $5,000. So we were anticipating getting at least that much back, and that's what we were going to use for our investment. We were still waiting for some documents to come back so that we could fill out the paperwork and get our taxes sent off, and we were able to get the last of those documents on Friday of last week. I sat down with the accounting software and started going through, and lo and behold, we are not getting back what we thought we were. Unfortunately, since I'm working now and I was not working last year, our refund was greatly affected by that. It threw us into the next tax bracket, and it cut down what we're getting back. So we were not going to be getting back enough to cover the investment, and there's some other things that we have to take care of. I mentioned in my last video that we had just purchased our house in June, and we have some acreage, and so we need to purchase a mower that's sufficient for mowing the lawn, because push mowing over an acre is not fun. So Friday was a bad night. I would say I was upset, but mostly I was angry. And I was angry because I knew that this was what I wanted to do, and it was like somebody had taken that away from me. They didn't. It was nobody's fault but my own for not, waiting to make sure that we were going to have what we needed before I committed to this. But I think that the fact that I signed my paperwork and I submitted it made it easier for me to decide that I wasn't going to give up on this. I could have on Friday said, you know what, we're just not going to have the money, and when they call, I'll just tell them I changed my mind and I just can't do it. But I wasn't ready to give up. I wasn't ready to say that this wasn't going to work. And so starting on Saturday, when I woke up after my pity party, I started looking online and trying to find other alternative ideas for what I could do to get that money to cover the investment. I was looking at selling old phones that we had laying around, or old Kindles that we bought a long time ago, and just trying to see, what could I get? Should I have a yard sale? Could I, everything that I came across, it just wasn't going to add up to enough. And so I took a leap of faith and I applied for a credit card. And unfortunately, because of the situations that we've been in the past, I wasn't able to qualify for that. And again, was a little dejected by that. But I was determined that I was going to find some way to finance this business. And so I contacted a company about a personal loan, and because my vehicle has been paid off, I was able to get a secured loan using my vehicle as collateral. Now, that is not what I wanted to do, but in my opinion, it's just given me another push point, because now I have a loan instead of a debt-free entrance into this. I have something that I have to pay back, and so it's going to make me want to work harder and want to do more, and want to get there faster so that I can get this thing paid off, and have my vehicle paid off again, so that when I'm ready and I want to, I can trade it in without having to worry about that. So we received the funds for that this morning. It is February 2nd. I don't know if I said that, but it is February 2nd. We received those funds this morning, and the first thing I did was get on Amazon and order a couple things that I've been waiting on. And I'll get into that in a second. But I'm ready. I'm so excited. And I just want to kind of go over what I had been doing before I found out we weren't going to get the money between Tuesday and Friday last week. I had kind of done a couple things, and I have been doing, since I signed my paperwork, a couple things, and I kind of want to go over that with you. So the very first thing that I did once I decided that this is what I wanted to do, even before I signed my paperwork, was to get on Amazon. We have an Amazon Prime membership, and so I got on Amazon, and I started just adding things to my cart and saving them for later. I had watched a lot of other YouTube videos. I had read some documents about what you need to get started. What are the supplies you need? Hangers and racks and poly mailers and all those kind of little things that you have to have so that you can be ready to go. And my goal was to, if I couldn't get them all before I got my inventory, at least know exactly what I wanted to have so that as soon as I could order them and hit the ground running as soon as my inventory came. So now that we've gotten this loan, I'm in a little bit of a better position with that. The reason that I use Amazon and the reason that I put everything in my cart and saved it for later is that with Amazon Prime, I don't know if it does it if you don't have Prime, but I know for us with Prime, when I put something in my cart and save it for later, if I put it in there today and it's $25, for instance, the hangers that I bought were the velvet hangers. They were $24.99 when I put them in there, I believe 2 weeks ago. I got a notification this morning that the price had gone down to $17.99. And I wanted to get 300 hangers because the initial inventory is about 290 pieces. So I wanted to make sure I had enough hangers to at least hang that initial inventory. So I got 300 hangers for $17.99 a pack. It came out to about $100 for all of the hangers. And the reason that I went ahead and got them today is because there's a huge difference between $17.99 and $24.99 in my opinion. And there's no guarantee that tomorrow they're not going to go back up to $24.99. So I had the money. I knew I needed them. I just went ahead and bought them. So I have a huge list of stuff from a dress form to a backdrop to a lighting kit to all the poly mailers, all the other little things that I would really love to have to start my business, and they're all in my cart, and that way I can keep an eye on them and see, okay, if this price drops and I think that's worth it, I'm just going to go ahead and get it so that I know I can, lock in that better price. So there's not a lot that I've purchased so far, obviously, because like I said, we just got the money this morning, and I don't want to go crazy buying a bunch of stuff just yet. I will say that I found out today that they're onboarding 12/22, and my date is 1/19. So it's really getting real. It's less than 4 weeks away. It's crazy. Which is a lot faster than we thought it was going to be, I guess. There's a lot of ladies that are using their tax income or their tax returns to finance, and they are getting through the queue faster because those people, unfortunately, don't have the returns back yet. So they're postponing their onboard, which is allowing them to get through the line a little bit faster. So it could be 2 weeks, it could be 4 weeks. There's really no way to know. There's no way for us to know exactly where we fall in that line. Just kind of a rough estimate. When I signed up, they said it was 6 to 8 weeks, and it's been 2 weeks. So, we'll just have to see where it goes. And one of the main things that I did that I wanted to share with you guys that I thought was really important was to set up a USPS account. USPS is what I'm going to be doing all of my shipping with. Like once I create my labels and everything, it's all going to go through the post office. And so I went ahead and created an account, and there was 2 reasons for that. The first reason was that you can order supplies from USPS, and they're free. So they have padded mailers, they have different size boxes, they have regional boxes. I haven't gotten everything that I want to get yet. There's limits on how much of each you can get, and you can go on their website and see all of that information about what you can get for free. But I got everything that I ordered within like 3 days of ordering it, so that was pretty good. And I just have those kind of stacked up in my master closet, which is going to be my Lula room. My husband and I are moving all of our clothes into the baby's closet because he doesn't use a lot of space, and the master closet is going to be my Lula room. We have pets, so I wanted to make sure I had a space where I could close off and nobody could have access to it, so that there's no pet hair on any of my clothes or dog smell or any of that kind of stuff. So our master closet's kind of out of the way, and that's going to be my primary storage area for stuff for the business. So I got some padded mailers and I got some boxes. Now, those are not going to be my primary packaging. I'm going to buy some poly mailers because I just think they're cute. And if somebody just buying one or two pair of leggings, I can fit them in the poly mailer and make it be a little more personable than just a priority mail a package. But I think it's a great idea to get the USPS website set up so that you're ready to go. Go ahead and order a few things that you think you might need in different size boxes, because there are limits to how many packages you can buy at once, or you can buy at one time. But I think you can go in every day and order more. So I haven't yet. I've just done the one. But I have heard that, you can go in multiple times and just place more orders. But they just have a limit to how many you can do in one shipment. They don't charge shipping. They don't charge anything for the supplies. And my nice post lady brought it right to my door and set it on the front porch. And so I think that's a great thing. The second reason to get a USPS is we kind of live in the country a little bit. And it's out of the way for me to go to the post office. And there's an option on there where you can schedule pickups. So when I get done with a show, I can schedule a pickup for the next day or whatever and have everything sitting there ready, and they just come pick it up from me at my house. So I don't have to go drive to the post office and drop it off. Some people that may not be an option for. I work full time, so I wouldn't be here when they pick it up. And that's something I needed to find out if that's okay or not. I'm not sure. But like I said, we kind of live out in the country, so I'm not really worried about someone walking up to my front door and taking stuff that I've sold. Our neighbors kind of look out for each other, and they don't work. So that's something you may want to consider if you live in a more populated area and you work, and they do allow pickup from your front porch, that you may not want to have hundreds of dollars of LuLaRoe sitting on your front porch waiting for the postman to come get it. Just something that you may want to consider. One of the other things I wanted to go over were some of the other stuff that I got from Amazon already. So like I mentioned, I have everything in my cart, ready to go, save for later. But I did get a couple other things. I got some of the little cloth hair bands. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with those or not, but they're like a piece of elastic and it's tied in a knot. And the reason I got those is because I had purchased some leggings from another consultant as a customer. And she had rolled the leggings up and put one of her little care cards over the leggings and then wrapped them with this little elastic band. And hers had unicorns on them. The ones I got are just different colors. They're not, they don't have unicorns on them or anything like that. But I thought it was so cool, and it was such a personal touch to have just that little elastic kind of gave it a little bit more presentation. I thought it was so cool. So I went ahead and ordered a pack of those. I think I got like 50 of them in the pack, and they were like $8 or something along those lines. So that was the other thing that I ordered. I've gotten some cardstock paper and some other little things, just kind of business office supply type things. But for the most part, I haven't really gone crazy yet, because first of all, I want to stay within a budget. Even though we got the loan, I don't want to just blow all my money. I want to make sure that I'm doing this the right way and keeping track of everything. But also because I want to try and get the best deal possible. So there's some stuff that I don't need to have right away that I'm just kind of watching, hoping that the price will go down. The last two things I wanted to go over, first of all, my excitement. And I don't know if you guys can tell the difference between the last video and this video, but in this last week, I've done a lot of thinking about what the possibilities are for this business. I've watched so many videos of these women who are being so successful, and I want that to be me. I want you guys to be watching me in a month or 2 months or whatever it ends up being, telling you how great this business has been for our family. One of the main goals that I have for this business is to allow my husband to quit his job. Um, and not necessarily to be a stay-at-home dad, but to at least be able to find something that he loves doing. He's been in his current job for 11 years. He works a swing shift. He works 6 in the morning to 6 at night. That's just recently. He used to work nights. He worked 6 at night to 6 in the morning, and it was awful, especially for me with 2 kids. I know that kind of sounds selfish, but um, we missed having him around. He had been working nights ever since my daughter was born, and so for 5.5 years, he worked nights, and we felt like we were just missing this huge part of our family. So he's finally back on days now, but he's not happy there. He doesn't want to do it anymore, unfortunately, because he's been there for so long. Um, he makes too much money to just leave and find something else. Um, so I'm hoping that I'll be able to make enough money in the first few months even. I mean, I've seen people that are really doing well, and that's my main goal, is to do well enough, quick enough, the right way, building my group the right way, and selling the right way, and having integrity, and being, great with customer service, and all that the other things that I think are important. But to be able to get into a position where I can supplement the difference between him having a job that he loves and enjoys going to every day, and being miserable. And I don't know what that amount is yet. I know what he makes, and I know relatively what, some lesser jobs make. But I want to put us in a position where we can comfortably say, okay, we can afford for you to not have to deal with this anymore. We can afford for you to go just find whatever it is that you want to do and do it. And the money will be here because we have this great business opportunity that we've taken, and you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about if you're going to be able to put food on the table or whatever. He is the main income, the breadwinner of the family, and so that's something that weighs really heavy on him, is making sure that he can take care of us. And that's my main goal for this, is kind of to be able to take care of him a little bit. He's been taking care of us for a long time, and he deserves to do something that he loves. So that's goal number one. And that's the goal that I'm going to be reaching for from day one. I'm planning on doing 3 events a week. That's my hope. We'll see how it goes. I've been kind of setting up my Facebook group. I got an Instagram and I got a Periscope, which I have no idea how to use. But that's stuff that, I have this time to kind of play with and figure out what the best option is going to be for that stuff. But I'm hoping to have a live sale, an album sale, and a hosted party either in-home or online every single week. And I think if I can stick to that schedule and have, 3 shows a week, that I could do well. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see how it goes. But I did want to say, I appreciate anybody who's watching this. If you have any questions about what I've found or what I've bought or any of that, I'm not going to put links down below for the stuff from Amazon, because realistically, I haven't really gotten everything that I want yet. For the most part, just the hangers, and I just searched velvet hangers on Amazon and picked what I wanted from there. There's a lot of different options, and a lot of the videos that I saw that had links in them, the items that they had purchased either were no longer available because the video was old, or the price had changed, so I don't want to put that information down there. But if you have specific questions about anything that I mentioned, feel free to message me or leave a comment down below. I'd really appreciate it if you guys would like and subscribe. I'm really new to this whole video thing. This is only the second video that I've made and actually put out there to the world. So if you have any suggestions for anything that I could do, be nice, please. But you can put it down below as well, and I'd really appreciate any feedback. And then I'll make a new video next Tuesday, and hopefully have some more news on what's going on, what I've done so far, and what I'm planning on doing going forward from there. So I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for taking the time, and I'll talk to you next week.